Allô les amis! We're gonna start soon! Meow! Rob, can you tell people to... Merci! Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to reach your seats before someone steals them. It's cool here. We can actually see people in the crowd and we're not blinded by all the lights. Bonjour! Moi, c'est Chloé Leduc Bélanger ou Chloé la Duchesse et je serai votre hôte ce soir pour cette soirée Versefest Presents. Donc, la 4e soirée déjà du festival, pouvez-vous le croire? It is the 4th night of the festival. Maybe clap for that. It is with great pleasure that I welcome everybody to this night of poetry here at the Happy Goat. And I'd like to start by acknowledging that the land on which we are gathered today is on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation, whose presence here reaches back to time immemorial. Les peuples de la nation Anishinaabe Algonquine vivent sur ce territoire, incluant le bassin de la rivière Kichisipi, donc la grande rivière qu'on appelle la rivière des Outaouais, depuis des millénaires. Leur culture et leur présence l'ont enrichi et l'enrichissent toujours. I also want to honor all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples and their valuable past and present contributions and stewardship of this land, un territoire qui émerveille et inspire de nombreux poètes que nous entendrons ce soir et cette semaine. So I will be your host and I will start straight away. I'm doing the bilingual thing because we have some great poets reading in French tonight and it's very great to welcome them in their language. Yay! Vive le français! Like, vive Greater Vanier libre. Sorry, I live in Vanier and I call everything Greater Vanier. Jérôme Melançon est notre premier poète au bâton. Donc, Jérôme Melançon est poète, philosophe et chercheur interdisciplinaire et indiscipliné. Après avoir vécu un peu partout au Canada, y compris à Gatineau et en France, il s'est établi à Uskuna-Kasustegué, ou Regina, en Saskatchewan, par amour et pour enseigner. Il y pratique l'anticolonialisme grâce à des projets de recherche collaboratifs, tout en s'occupant d'un département de philosophie et d'études classiques. Il a publié les recueils de poésie En dessous de la langue, qui est vraiment particulièrement bon, et Prairial, chez Prise de parole, 2 recueils aux éditions des Plaines et 3 micro-recueils ou chapbooks chez Above Ground Press. Mesdames et messieurs, Jérôme Melançon!
I'm gonna do a bit. This is true, but also it's a bit. I'm gonna start with a poem from Thailand. It goes like this. I am not a whale. I am not an orca whale. I am not a bear. I'm not a polar bear. You're listening to me like this is serious. Who am I? I am Pokasan. I love everyone. Okay, just look up Pokasan. It's just full of joy. Je suis Jérôme Melançon. Merci, Rob. Merci, Chloé. Merci au Versefest. Really grateful to have my plane ticket paid to come out here. This is really awesome. Je vais vous lire des poèmes. Before I get started, I brought 11 copies of this book. I don't want to bring them back with me on the plane. Please help me go and buy them. They're in the back. Yes. Also, buy the other books. None of us want to bring them back. Should start this. Okay. Let's read some poems. I'm going to read some poems in French, and I'm going to pick poems that will sound good, even if you don't understand what's going on. If I do say so myself. The thing with these little flags is I'm not sure which way they turn. All right, let's do seriously now. Patrimoine. Nous avons renversé les tables de leurs repas, chacune contre un mur, à genoux et voûtées, une paroi devant, nos regards à renvoi, les bras en déni de silence, corps centré, vie projectile, les cadavres absents de nos portées, nous calculons trajectoires angulaires qui s'achèveront écroulées sous les obus se croisent pour l'instant en balles cassantes. Dans la fréquence et le frein des mots répétés, transportés par nos harnais intrathoraciques, nous retournons aux tables d'un assourdissement. Les doigts fermes contre l'huile dégoulinante, comme si le papier de l'histoire pouvait survivre au-dessus d'un mouvement si claquant de langue. If you clap in between, that gives me time to get to my next poem. If you don't clap in between, you can try and wonder, what was that last word? Engrisaillement. Brouillard ou neige, les arbres une bavure, le champ imbibe des couleurs. Entre l'avant et l'arrière-plan, à la hauteur du banc de neige, l'œil s'arrête sur le mouvement. De ce côté-ci du boisé, l'absence de vent prend des directions croisées. La voiture en marche ajoute au silence. Elle aussi enveloppe. Au milieu d'anciens champs, on laisse les charpentes par terre pour l'hiver. Pour recouvrir ce qui reste de bois, on évite les poutres, les séquelles de la coupe. On impose à la plaine un uniforme. I'm not done yet. Cueillette. Les pistils ont survécu à la tombée des pétales, se souviennent de leurs promesses fécondes. Comme des fraises au couteau, dépecer le monde. Ne pas déplacer les clavers de peur que les framboises ne fondent. This is the poem about birds. Or is it? It is. Also, it's not. Citelle. Écorce drue et lèvres sèches, la neige accroche les mots, les chants, assouplit et absorbe, simule un silence. Sur l'arbre des veines, des boursouflures, de quoi gratter et piquer, une pratique d'ouverture, de mise à découvert, que ce qui grouille nourrisse. Mésange. Immobilité qui est encore et déjà, saut, coup tourné, vol d'une seconde nature, certitude du balancement ténu, un monde qui rebondit sous soi, horizon qui reste à rapiécer, équilibre que l'on porte derrière soi. Mésanger. Ni un, trop proche des formes, des marques attendues, pour être identifié à la certitude, ni deux, le plumage ébouriffé, cet écart creusé d'avec le froid ne cache personne. Étude de ce que le bec prendra, ce qui entourera le sifflement avant que la neige ne craque. Regina Calgary, parce que many of these poems are actually they're all about the prairies. Yes, yes, Francis is in the house. The prairies are more than what we think. Also, they are exactly what we think. It's a lot of things. Like all land, it's unceded territory, unsurrendered territory. All land is indigenous. A lot of this is about trying to figure out ways to be less colonial towards being decolonial eventually. I can't say I'm doing decolonial work in here. I don't think that's really true. There's a lot of stuff that we have to undo and try to learn to see differently. And that also applies to French. I think there's a lot of myths about French Canadians, Quebecers, French Canadians all over the country. And yeah, it's been told quite clearly that we're colonizers also. And this poem is not about that, but I just want to talk about this. And also these poems about moving around the prairies because it's a big place. And sometimes you have to fly to get between cities. So, Regina Calgary, décollage. Où les vitres avalent mes yeux, où les collines me bloquent les épaules, où je n'ai ni sol ni horizon, où je trouve dans les lignes vombrissantes un jeu d'échecs à l'échelle des plaines, où la neige statuesque fait sauter les pneus, coupe le souffle et siffle, où le pavé, quand il se montre, grince sous le poids de mon recul aussi. You do speak French. Où la civilisation fait semblant, ça, où je tremble sans vibrer. Show of hands, who understood part of that? People always speak French more than I think, or than they think they do. Chloe School. Big hand for Chloe, by the way. Yeah? She took this manuscript and she helped me make it cooler, better, readable. So, yeah, she's cool. The latest book, the one that I'm selling these days, Prairial, is more typically literary. With this one, I want to have something that would be oral, I could read easily, and it's actually a whole work on how French feels in my mouth when I speak normally. So I picked the ones with swears in them, because y'all all love to say tabarnak, don't you? Gang de Chris, on va sacrer. Retenu. Territoire d'hésitation, tarde en présence de ceux qui s'en imbibent, ceux dont les racines font leur travail, témoin de mon étouffement, toujours sur le bord de remplacer ma voix. C'est que je peine à replacer. Je suis damé, barré, au même mot qui réclame un silence. J'ai pas de chalumeau, j'ai pas de soupape. J'ai reçu mes autres mots, qui sont pas plus les miens, qui sont pas plus les miens. Une longue montée, toute l'air de l'œsophage, épaississement des muqueuses, mon ancrage dans le sol, les pieds magnétiques, les cuisses dans qui appelle la poitrine dans le collier. Je m'adresse quand même une parole silencieuse. Je me replie par manque d'attaque. Toujours les mêmes mots, puis des fois aussi d'autres. Des mots à contradiction, sur le bord du gueulage bouché. Je suis rien qu'une gueule. Contraction des poumons, des genoux. Ma langue disparaît. Mes langues épaississent. Au bord d'une explosion, j'atteste du bout d'orteil. Je n'ai pas besoin, mais c'est tentant, maudit, tout faire sauter, qu'enfin ça coule sans embâcle. Gatineau. Il fait un peu trop froid. Les Exporté Light se plaignent. Puis fucking right que je suis à tabarnak. Des avoir suivis dans le bois, pas de bottes. Obligé d'enfiler mes godasses dans leurs traces. Il m'en manque vite des larmes à force d'essayer de garder à smoke entre mes lèvres sans me geler les doigts ni m'étouffer. Les bras en vilebrequin, les genoux en chalumeau, pendant qu'eux autres jouent à dénuder le ruisseau sans tomber, avec la glace dans le courant. Je m'imagine comme Sisyphe au moment de reprendre la conversation. Solidarité. Le monde m'envahit en commençant par les angles, par l'espace entre les empreintes puis les ongles. Là où ma négligence ronge ma chair. Je me décontamine en changeant de terre, entre le recto et le verso des incantations. Il faut que je laisse la terre m'apprendre ses limites. Ma langue ne peut pas combattre. Cimentée à force de traîner aux marges d'asphalte, suspendue en ce qui reste en moi de notre imagination. This is a poem about bridges and it's called Enjambment. Those of you who know some French know that enjamber means this. Whoop! If you didn't know that, poets, now you know. I'm going to give it away. Every line has an enjambment. I know. And the end of the poem continues with the first poem. You can read it forever. It enjambs itself. And it's about two cities and crossing a river and then going to see my girlfriend in her apartment on New York Street. She's my wife now. She's really cool. She's been my wife for a long time. All right, let's go. Enjambement. Pour une rare fois, je me trouve à court de souffle, à bout de l'air que le courant avale par en dessous. J'évite son appartement, mais je vacille. Les yeux et le cœur me tombent. Je dévie de la ligne du ciment qui me ramène à la berge, désynchronisé des voitures, des vannes, qui me dit de sautiller là où devient la pancarte des frontières. Le pont va devenir la rue, me mener à l'angle que je vais retrouver dans 10 intersections. Je compte les lignes du trottoir, je mastique mes mots d'avance. Dans son appart à elle, il n'y a pas de cloison. On est du même côté de tout. Il n'y a pas de quartier, puis pas de rampe non plus pour me retenir. La rivière reste bruyante, mais moins que des moteurs, moins que mes pas, même si, quand même. I really want someone to study this poem and then find all the allusions to different things. Like 16 Easter eggs, if you know me a little bit. I'll do 2 more, I think. Maybe a third. I'll skip one. Okay. Au parc Victoria pendant le Folk Fest. C'est Regina. Un effritement d'écorce et de peau. Matière qui plane, contourne l'arbre. Ce que je laisse, me laisse, empreinte sur la paume, derrière le coude, dans un échange de poids, de verticalité, perte mutuelle, mue, entre les croissances passées, là où la protection défaillit, où le soi en faille laisse entrer d'autres vies. Une gomme pour s'imprégner, des passages patients, se laisser porter, être là aussi. Une vigilance sous les épines, aérienne en recouvrement, immobile en tapissement, une absence de totalité. Une écoute de celui qui fait à peine branche, qui retient ses feuilles pour se laisser espérer. Des racines qui se touchent, se forment, se disent ce que le ciel a encore à offrir. Un passage en mêlée, un conte des arbres passés, des prés, la connaissance de ce qui ne sera jamais ossement. Musculature commune qui, contre la fumée, les pas, le goudron. Connaissance de l'attente, fatigue de l'attentat. Rien de nouveau dans cette éternité à apprendre. Contrepoids pour ma masse, écoute du souffle alors que j'écoute qu'on me rappelle à la terre. Sous-sol ou sous-bois? No, I said I wouldn't go past 15 minutes. I'm done. Okay. Rob? It's not me. Chloe's making me. That's fair. You deserve a break, man. Hey, big head for Rob! Non pas les années. Listen, Rob! This is for you, man. Non pas les années. Sorry, this is really weird. Non pas les années, leur passage rocailleux, transformé dans un rugissement de vitesse, des doigts retraçant avec ta délicatesse ces chemins de campagne tracés pour nous deux. Mais entre les plis de nos parois en treillage, synthèse photographe sur plaque d'étain, un devenir sorcière, accrochement soudain, de la chevelure aux ancrages des feuillages, 20 ans fasciné, puis c'est devenu à l'être, la terre te rejoint comme elle a pu le faire quand tu étais enfant, que tu ne savais taire ces présences qui s'impriment dans les fenêtres et dans l'épaisseur inépuisable du verre, pour nous traverser en saccades et nos passages décalés, tenant davantage du tissage que de la distance regrettée du revers. And that's how you read a love poem to your wife, to your publisher? Thanks so much, guys.
So that was Jérôme. In case you didn't know him, now you do. I'd like to take a second to notice that our three poets tonight are from out of town. So Jérôme's from Regina, and then Toronto is the other city our two other poets come from. So let's thank our funders who pay for the flights and stuff, the City of Ottawa and the Canada Arts Council. Thank you so much for making this possible. Our second poet, Haydra Mawali, is a Palestinian and Iraqi writer living in Toronto. Her first book, Revolutions, published at Talent Books in 2025, is a collection of poetry on shame, pleasure, and Arab Muslim girlhood. Two poems from the collection also appear in an anthology of Palestinian poetry called Heaven Looks Like Us. It was published in Haymarket Books in 2025. Hager's work has been published in the Ex-Puritan, Brick Magazine, Room Magazine, and Joyland. Mesdames et messieurs, let's clap for Hager. Do you need the stand?
I think this is fine. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to Rob, who invited me to this, and to everyone at Versefest for organizing. Yeah, it's really cool to have a book, but it makes it more difficult flipping through pages, so just bear with me. The first poem I'm going to read is called Open Guide of Palestine. And it's about the first and only time I ever got to visit Palestine in 2017. Before having been, I remember returning to Al-Quds. Returning in the present tense. I would love returning. I am been returning. Sand is falling through the mouth in the fullest sense of the word, already having fallen, waiting to fall again. If business is getting better, we can be return for the first time. In past tense, once we are there. Sand falling upwards like the prophet's footsteps to heaven. We will returning to Quds. Insha'Allah, we did returns. Where a mother distanced closer to God is trying, returned her wedding dress with the rest of her future memories, reaching checkpoints. Unlike sand, the full body turnstile is locked for single direction use. Sometimes locks completely, protecting against all past, present, future attacks. The mother, her dress, the father, his lungs, filling with water all trapped on one side of the throat, long enough for the hospital to get farther and farther away. The mother's pregnant granddaughter's 10-centimeter dilation told to wait her turn, while the soldier of death finds the perfect space between two bars of the steel barricade to stick his rifle through. The baby is being born some year between 1948 and now. She can speak in two directions when allowed. Welcome to the history of infinite security. She is buying cashews in the suit on her way to Masjid al-Aqsa. She is sleeping on the cold carpeted floor. Between yesterday and tomorrow, Quds orbits around its center. Sand reorienting from dome to dome, no place more divided and invariant, no place more and. Circling the area, I become another. Between yesterday and tomorrow, Guts orbits around its center. Sand reorienting from dome to dome, no place more divided and invariant, no place more and. Thank you. The second poem I have is called Hourglass Procedure, and I have a few of these poems throughout the book, and they were written using an hourglass. I had a 20-minute hourglass that I was just kind of writing along with, and the poems are meant to be read in two directions, the way that you would turn an hourglass over. And I'll also, just for a bit of context, most of this book is a response to a sculpture called Plus and Minus by a Palestinian artist named Mona Hatoum. And the sculpture, if you haven't seen it, it's a kinetic sculpture with two mechanical arms in a bed of sand, and one of the arms is serrated and the other arm is smooth. So the sculpture is constantly making and unmaking grooves in the sand. And I really loved the sculpture, and I was thinking about the ways in which young Arab women make and unmake our identities, and the ways in which we censor ourselves and are censored by our communities. And an earlier version of the sculpture, Plus and Minus, was actually called self-erasing drawing. And in writing the book, I also had recorded conversations with women in my community, and they're all in the book named X. So you'll see that character in this poem. So this is Hourglass Procedure. Maybe it was that time she played hide and seek with her family friends, and with only 2 seconds left, she and that boy quickly hid under the bed together. Maybe X knew it was a bad idea. Maybe when X's brother found her, he slapped her hard across the face and said, maybe you shouldn't have been under the bed with that boy, even if it was just a game. While waiting to come, X wonders why. She tries again the next night, closes her eyes and thinks of nothing but waves moving over her body. If she gets really high with a long massage beforehand, X and X and X and sex, success and yes and eyes and eyes and X and X and X. Does any X know she is the same as another X? One plain desiring, one plain interrupting. I keep thinking about X's inside brain. X says they should study the relationship between girls raised in religious households and passivity during sex. In this irreversible way, sand sounds louder at the beginning while it's still hitting glass. Sound of sand on glass versus sound of sand on sand. Sand and sad and sound and send and gland and glad. Sound of sand on glass versus sound of sand on sand. Sand sounds louder at the beginning while it's still hitting glass. In this irreversible way, X says they should study the relationship between girls raised in religious households and passivity during sex. I keep thinking about X's inside brain. One plane desiring, one plane interrupting. Does any X know she is the same as another X? X and X and X and sex, excess and yes and eyes and X and X and X. If she gets really high with a long massage beforehand, closes her eyes and thinks of nothing but waves moving over her body, she tries again the next night. While waiting to come, X wonders why. Maybe it was that time she played hide and seek with her family friends, and with only 2 seconds left, she and that boy quickly hid under the bed together. Maybe X knew it was a bad idea. Maybe when X's brother found her, he slapped her hard across the face and said, maybe you shouldn't have been under the bed with that boy, even if it was just a game. Thank you. Sorry, I feel like I'm bringing the energy like way, way down, but it's it's only going to get lower from here. So this is a new poem that I have. Um, I've only read this one once before, so hopefully we do okay this time. So this is called Full Moon. Bathed in sound, you recover an image, a line, a vibration of ghosts. Before you could remember, you learned to forget. The knife under the pillow was not for protection. You rubbed yourself across portals and construction sites, overgrowth, broken mirrors. A woman hits her stick on a drum, memories explode. Those we killed and were killed, bodies never identified at the place where lifeless bodies go. You can put your hand out the window now. Take the anti-inflammatory, cover the black robe with another black robe, soak your nails in acetone. Watch your sister's child body thrown outside the frame. Before you had periphery or could contort your little tongue to say the end of your name, some engines in your brain turned the lights off. You recall smells hidden inside the walls. When eyes are fully closed, other openings will let you in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hager. Oh my goodness. It is always different energies between a poet and another, but that's why we love these things. Yay! And so I presume from all the clapping that you are enjoying what you're hearing tonight. Yes. And I want to remind you that there are chapbooks and books and authors to sign them. So please visit both tables. Thank you for the lovely volunteers at Versefest and for Perfect Books to be here to uh, sell the books. And also, oh yeah, shout out to all the volunteers and Allison. Also, we never name Allison and Rob, and to the live stream people. Yeah, that person live streaming here is Bennett, and he's since everybody talks about how they love their partners, Bennett's quite great. I love Bennett. Yeah. So, our last but not least poet, Paul Vermeersch, is a poet, multimedia artist, professor, and editor. His eighth collection of poetry, NMLCT, was published in September 2025 by ECW Press. Paul holds an MFA in creative writing from the University of Guelph. Bennett is from Guelph, for which he received the Governor General's Gold Medal. He is currently a professor at the Sheridan College, where he serves as the editor-in-chief of the Ampersand Review of Writing and Publishing. He is also the senior editor of Woolsack and Wynne Publishers, where he created the poetry and fiction imprint Buckrider Books. He lives in Toronto. Let's welcome Paul. Do you want to climb? Do you want to go down?
I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna get up on this thing because I'm not very tall. What's up, motherfuckers? That's my McLovin start to things. Oh, it's too dark up here. Hopefully you can see me. Since everyone's talking about their partners, I'm really happy to be back in Ottawa because it was about 15 years ago that I met my wife in this beautiful city. All right. So this is my latest book. It's called Animal City, or NMLCT. It doesn't have any vowels in the title because of the cutbacks. And I'm gonna read some poems from Animal City, and I hope you like them. This is called On Monstrosity. It's got a title like it's an essay, but it's just a poem. You know, it's pretending. It's cosplaying as an essay on monstrosity. Hello. I can't. Hold on a second. Hey, how's that? God, old eyes. Some people have an old soul. I have old eyes. Hello. The wetware is at it again, synthesizing mythologies from monstrosities, hobgoblin cognition from thin air. On Golgotha, the hippogriff is singing Mandinka to children. Let's telecommunicate, cool? Let's watch TV collectively across a desert of broken antennae. Let's ache for obsolescence. Let's go. Hello. The dead will be recast. The dead are imaginary animals in the forest of broken telephone poles. Electrified crosses are bearing when an era needs to calm itself. The dead are source material, the end product of homeostasis converted to narrative. The dead all have their eyes X'd out. Hello, hi. The Weir Rabbit is conducting an orchestra of collective trauma and the choir of howling mice in the Eigengrau. Monstrosity is a factor of the body, of bodies, e.g., that do not fit into their world as Godzilla does not fit into Tokyo. One way they make you a monster is by making all your clothes too small. Hello. The Song of Monsters is performed on an array of sirens mounted on poles in the fog. It is a factor of remix. The ancient cults counted on it. Just catalog the bird heads on the forms of men. Just listen as the number station cites its monotone rage that the magic bean is a treasure, but the beanstalk is an aberration. I want to thank Versefest for having me back after a few years. It's nice to be back at Versefest. I love this festival. I want to thank Rob and Allison and everybody involved in making this happen, all the volunteers, all the venues. This venue is super cool. There's a painting of John Rambo over here. And I saw a cow being abducted by aliens on that wall over there. I love it. It's actually a really good setting for this book. Welcome to Machine City. You are here, but inhabitants are only ever partially in situ. Navigation mode is stuck between interactive map and shining capital. Next versions emerge. Latest upgrades, same as the 7 cities of Troy, each built on the wreck of the last. Oh, the ghosts in the machinery come up from deep, deep. Same as the recreated viral videos of rediscovered catacombs or artifacts of old code from retro Warzone sims in the brickwork. Sometimes a bit of paint peels away and you can see the backlit green and black alphanumeric substructure and a full spectrum beam of light firing through a pyramidal prism rendered over a 10-second rolling loop of gently rolling seas, but it's home. Here you are. Everything you love is now customizable with cutting-edge character tech. But there's always a faint trace of some remnant avatars embedded in the most recent blueprint of Machine City. We've made some changes for your security and convenience. A porn bot has been reskinned with a fresh prosthetic leg, including a secret pop-out nunchuck holster. A pre-programmed flat screen displaying anything else you don't have but might want for free. You are here partially. Same as the spectral cloud now forming inside this sunlit gallery. You are home, or in your only memory of home. Same thing. I missed half a line in that poem, so to find out which, you have to get the book and reread it. Sometimes 2 things can be true at the same time. Sometimes something can be both a cube and a wolf. This is called Cubic Wolf. Kind of gave away the ending. Cubic Wolf. They have built a cubic wolf. This is not a riddle. It can't be solved. It is a cube. There are no icons or markings on its sides. It is a wolf. All of its famine and all of its wrath are equally enclosed within the equal dimensions of the cube. Its savagery is there distilled, and its glee at the tang of organs, and its relentless hate for the inert, inaudible threat it senses deep within another cube, a rival for its status or a hunter bent on taking it. It is an intrinsic wolf with an intrinsic howl that cannot be heard. It could be any shape, it is a cube. It could be any living thing, it is a wolf. And where is it? It does not know. It only knows it is a wolf. Do not ask how. They have built a cubic wolf. What have they done? It is no mere symbol of a wolf. It is a wolf. It wants what all wolves want, to endure on blood and love its young, but mutely, unstirring, without ever breaking from its form. Poor cubic wolf. Facial recognition error. This is an increasing problem, I think. Old photo, new haircut. A lash of green cathode rays leaking through black parallax, eyes, nose, mouth. Who, me? I can no longer see myself in anything. A werewolf scrambled by EMF while white phosphenes cluster in the HUD. This is my 5th metamorphosis. I try to return to a mirror from 1998, but the past is split into odd frequencies and interference. Theremin music. I am trying to reform myself. A rabbit now with antlers, or the serpent version all slim that fits inside a coin-sized void. Nothing takes the same shape forever anymore. There isn't any permanence. I thought there was, that it was bone, but it isn't. I try to return to a photo from 1977. Burn marks, platinum. It is me, isn't it? Rubber bones, little lamb. Another facial recognition error and the connection is severed. Being given a choice is never the same thing as being asked your preference. It might be squid head or doppelganger. But some of us will never not set the controls for lion or icon or neon, whatever it is we think we're supposed to be. I almost read that last sentence as whatever the fuck we think we're supposed to be. And I think I might change it in the future. All right, let's skip ahead. This poem is called Barcode Wolf. It's written in barcodes. So if you take it to like Shoppers Drug Mart or somewhere, you can read it. If you want. Oh, I'm going to read this poem because the title is in French. So then officially I can say I did a bilingual reading. Tricolor. Yes. Already it has the approval of Jerome. Tricolor. Is all this prosperity coming to an end? Luxury brands are already speculating on the revolution, already printing liberation slogans on designer handbags, already silk screening Shay's face on haute couture versions of workwear, battle fatigues, boiler suits, and fast food uniforms. Follow the money. They wanted so badly to brand the clouds with gold logos, to patent access to a new app that simulates the faint sensation of generational wealth in the working class. But overnight they had to pivot to embossing their trademarks on silver guillotines and magnums of Molotov champagne. Chanel is launching a viral campaign for 3 new parfums that explode when thrown, emitting red, white, and blue smoke, respectively. Our marketing team says testing suggests that these 3 colors can mean anything you like. In Machine City, your comfort is paramount. Even now, our proprietary AI is working on new models for a lazy boy barricade, designing a new flag with brighter shades of cyan, static, and magenta, and giving Delacroix's painting of liberty leading the people even bigger tits. That's right. Applaud for tits. All right. I just found out this morning that this next poem is going to be in the next Best Canadian Poetry Anthology, and they told me not to tell anyone yet. So just keep it just entre nous, Sometimes when I am seated in a darkened theater, this is all true, by the way. Sometimes when I am seated in a darkened theater, before the show begins, I see myself transfigured into a bear. There in the auditorium, a great shimmering bear, brilliant as projector light beamed through red-veined eyelids, ringed in the black of 6 black holes. 6 black wings crisscross on my back. I fold and unfold like a tesseract, a bear emerging from a bear. I rise from my seat. I pace in the air above the audience, altering my size with each step. I roar and projector light glints in my teeth. The 6 black holes encircling me are barely visible, but measurable because the blazing corona of the bear repeats its transit across the event horizon of my discarded body. I stride in the air before the proscenium, stamping my great feet as though on solid earth, thundering to gasps from the audience. The 6 black wings rattle on my back like 999 rattlesnakes. This is my rightful form, mine, and I am beautiful in this form. But a wound in childhood barely felt, like the slightest misalignment of a door frame, prevents me from achieving it. I'll read 2 more poems. This one's called Eels, and it's all about eels. You consulted your zodiac, and your sign had changed to eels. You wrote a personality test, and the results came back